Hey guys, I'm Eric with Extreme Terrain. As you just heard and saw, in this video we're going to be doing a review and installation of the Rough Country Dual Outlet Performance Axleback Exhaust with black tips for all 18 and later Jeep Wrangler JLs with the 2.0 liter gas engine and the 3.6 liter gas engine. Now I think this muffler replacement is really going to appeal to the Wrangler owner out there who wants to add an aggressive, sporty appearance to their rear end, as well as a throatier, more aggressive sound to their exhaust note. And this Rough Country dual outlet exhaust delivers on both counts. And as you probably just heard, I would rate this at roughly a 3 out of 5 on our Wake the Neighbor loudness meter. It's not overly aggressive, it's not going to blow out your eardrums, but it is definitely more noticeable and has a lot more character than your stock exhaust. Now when we took this out for a road test, it really came alive as we went up to the red line. That's where the personality of this exhaust kind of really presented itself. As we were just cruising down the road at regular speeds, it wasn't a whole lot more noticeable than your factory exhaust, to be quite honest, so you're not going to get any negative drone in there, and you're really not going to notice a whole lot of difference. And especially if you're running mud terrain tires or all-terrain tires like we have on this Jeep, that noise is kind of there competing with that exhaust, so you're really not going to notice it too much under just average driving conditions. And then when we're coming down to a stop sign or a stop light, there is a little bit of a throaty burble down low or at idle, which is kind of a nice little personality as well. So overall, it's not a drastic change from your factory exhaust, but it is a definite improvement. Now this kit from Rough Country is made from 409 stainless steel tubing, as well as dual wall 304 stainless out here at the tip. And of course, the entire unit is coated in a durable, high temperature resistant black finish. Now with pricing, guys, as is the case with a lot of products from Rough Country, they're very competitively priced. No difference here. This unit right now is coming in under $375, which makes it very competitive compared to other axleback muffler replacements out there that are going to give you a more tuned, throaty exhaust note, as well as a more aggressive appearance. Now as far as the installation goes, guys, nothing overly complicated here. I'm giving it a basic 1 out of 3 wrenches on our difficulty meter with some basic hand tools, and maybe get your hands on a hanger removal tool. You should be able to get this job done well under 2 hours. One issue we did have during the installation, as you'll see later in this video, is that this tucks in very high and tight to your bumper, so much so that we had to remove the factory tow hook that's on the driver's side of the rear bumper. So just keep that in mind. If that's not something you want to get rid of, you might want to come up with an alternate solution, like get a larger rubber hangers for your muffler, or it really isn't a consideration if you have an off-road bumper on your Jeep already that already has recovery points as part of it, and you no longer have that factory tow hook there. So with that said, let's take a look at the tools we're going to use and go ahead with the installation. Okay guys, the tools we're going to use for this installation, it's good to grab a can of PB Blaster or similar penetrating oil. We're going to use a exhaust hanger removal tool, a 13-inch ratcheting wrench, 17, 15, and 13 millimeter deep well sockets, a 6-inch extension, and our electric impact wrench. And working underneath cars and spraying lubricants around, it's a good idea to have some eye protection. Okay, now we have our Jeep up on a lift so we can give you a good shot at what we're going to do under here. We're basically going to be removing this entire muffler all the way back to the first clamp that connects this rear section to the rest of your exhaust. To disconnect that, there's going to be 1 clamp back there and 2 brackets, 1 here and 1 here. It's actually easier to remove those brackets and drop this down than to get a hanger removal tool in there to release the muffler from the rubber hangers. It's really tight in there, and we're going to show you how to do that right now. All right guys, I have my electric impact gun here, and I have a 15 millimeter deep well socket on it. It's a little tight, but get it up in here. All right guys, now I have a 13 millimeter deep well socket and an extension on my impact wrench. Just kind of fish it up in there. We're gonna go after the top bolt on that bracket. I think you're technically seeing the back side of it right now. We're gonna go after this bolt right here. I got a 13 millimeter ratcheting wrench. All right, now we're gonna go to the other side. All right, guys, again, same thing as the driver's side. Over here on the passenger side, a 13mm socket. All right, guys, we've wiggled everything loose and taken out all the hardware holding these clamps, so just go ahead and pull your muffler away. All right, guys, now we have our factory muffler off of our Jeep Wrangler, and I wanted to throw up here on the table and show you side by side a nice comparison to the Rough Country unit that we're going to be installing today. Now, obviously, the two selling points of this new muffler are those dual exits. That's going to give you a nice sporty look and obviously a much sportier growl or sound to your exhaust. I mean, let's face it, the stock exhaust that comes on your JL Wrangler is pretty tame. In fact, you probably don't even notice it most times, especially if you have off-road tires on your Jeep. The other nice thing is that you're getting this nice matte black finish. And this thing looks just tired and old, and we don't even have that many miles on our Jeep. So the sporty appearance and the sporty sound is really what you're getting with this new unit from Rough Country. So let's go ahead and get it installed. All right, we're gonna go take this hanger off. If you have a tool like this, it's perfect for the job. Otherwise, you might be able to do this with like a wrench. If they're real stubborn for you, give them a shot of PB Blaster in there to loosen it up, but otherwise it'll come right out. We'll transfer it over to the new unit in a second. All right, guys, now if you notice, these are pointing outward, whereas your factory bumper is pointing inward. No big deal, but this little tip here is a little bit bigger than the factory one, so I did add a little bit of lubrication to this to get it to go on a little bit better. We'll do the same thing on the other side. And all we got left is to add this clamp to the pipe. You do get a fresh clamp with this kit from Rough Country, and to orient it properly, make sure that the nut is pointing down on the outside of the pipe. That'll maximize easy access to it when we're mounting it up. All right, guys, now that you have all this set up, I got the muffler here, and I grabbed a couple of bolts in my other hand. We're gonna go ahead and start this on the rest of the factory pipe. And once we get that kind of lined up, then I'm gonna start a couple of these bolts just by hand. All right, guys, now as we're trying to get our Rough Country muffler fitted up in here and get the brackets tightened up, we realize that we're bumping into the factory tow hook right here. So right now I'm gonna go ahead and remove this. Just be aware that if your Jeep looks like this on the underside, that the tow hook is integral to also these bolts up here that are holding your bumper to the frame. So I'm gonna go ahead and take these out first and this one up here last. You probably have 2 bolts on your Jeep. Our Jeep only has 1 up top here. right, now that we have it started and loosened up here, guys, there's just one bolt left. I'm gonna loosen that out with an air ratchet. I'm also gonna brace with my other hand the bumper and the tow hook so they don't fall down when this bolt comes out. Now I'm going to replace the bolt holding the bumper up. All right, guys, now with that tow hook out of the way, this does slide up in there much nicer. All right, and we'll tighten that down with a tool. All right, now we're going to go ahead and start the top bolt on this side here. And I'm going to get in there with a 13mm socket. And now that that's tightened up, I'm going to go ahead and tighten this one down. Then go ahead and repeat those same 2 steps on the passenger side. All right, guys, and the last step to our installation is we're going to tighten up the bolt on this clamp here. I'm going to use a 15mm socket. All right, guys, that wraps up this review and installation of the Rough Country Dual Outlet Performance Axleback Exhaust with black tips for all 18 and later Jeep Wrangler JLs. And of course, for all things Wrangler, keep it right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.